This video today is for everyone out there who's heard that their IT bands are tight. So we're going to go through 3 different movements of using the tennis ball, or the air hockey ball, or the racket ball, to work these muscles of the outer thigh. However, we're not actually going to work the outer thigh. We're going to work the outer hip up top. And they're 3 pretty simple moves, but I think you'll feel that this area here along the side of your leg really relaxes from that. So we have the ball, and I'm using a felt pad today because I think it gives it a little more squish, a little more support, but you can use a blanket or a pillow because we're lying down. Now before we get started, I want to show you the moves head on because it's kind of hard to see on the floor. So I'll be bending this knee, and the ball is going to be deep in the glutes, along where my thigh bone meets my hip. So if I turn to the side, right here, about where my pocket line is, I'm going to go just a little bit over. Should be a little sensitive. So the movement from there is the knee moves out and in. That's all it does. And your knee might not move a lot if your IT bands are tight. And the second move is that I'm going to cross my ankle over my other thigh and move this way. Then the third one is that I'm going to hold this and start moving my pelvis. So do you see the difference? Let's go over those again. So my knee is moving out and in. That's the first one. Then I take my ankle, cross it over my other thigh, and roll out and in. And the whole time this ball is here in the glutes. Third one, my knee stays in this position and my pelvis starts to rotate. So my chest looks like it might go, but I'm going to be on the floor. So this is actually going to rotate a little bit more, right? So join me on the floor with whatever you have support headwise and your ball. So I want to take this, lift the hip up, and then settle back on it. So where my thigh comes in, that straight back there, you'll notice that's where the ball is. Yeah? And it should feel like there's some muscle tissue there. First move, my thigh moves out toward the camera, toward you, and then back in. It's not a big movement at all. We've talked about this in other videos, that it's not about going big, right? That go big or go home adage doesn't apply here. What does apply is to feel your thigh bone moving out and in, and that there's some pressure on the ball, just a little bit. Now from here, you could move the ball somewhere else in the pelvis if you wanted, if you found some spaces that felt a little more sensitive. Or you move on to the second movement. So I'm going to slide my other leg away a little bit, bend in and pivot. And then from there, that other leg can come back, as long as I don't do it with my torso. And then the leg now rotates out and in. So now it's making more of an arc. And I guarantee this is not going to be fun. There will definitely be some sensitive spots here, yes? And if there are, what do? Well, we pause and take a few breaths in and out of that area, drawing that all the way into the lungs and then back out. So you have that option to stay and breathe, or to move and breathe. Since there's a lot of muscle tissue in the glutes, you might find a better spot than where the ball is now. You can certainly move the ball. Now that third movement, remember the pelvis moves? So now the legs stay, and I'll roll on the ball toward the camera, toward you, and then come back. Now this one is super intense, so there's going to be a little bit of discomfort, if not a lot of discomfort, depending on how tight your IT band is. So what we're doing is we're working the muscles that attach to the IT band. If you were to think of a trampoline, being on the center of the trampoline is like being on your IT band, and we're working the muscles that attach the IT band to the corners and the sides. And the more those are supple, the more the center of that trampoline starts to come further down and soften. So they're not pulling so tight on them. And this is a great place to find a little tense or sensitive spot and stay. And we come back out. I'm sure there'll be a sigh of relief happens when we move this out of the way and let the leg come back down. And right off the bat, you'll know this hip is going to feel a lot heavier, closer to the floor, than this other one that hasn't been rolled yet. So one of the moves, since you're already here, to notice how much this has released, is to straighten the other leg, lift up, and to bring this leg across the body. So you're doing a twist, right? And it's not about lifting the hip off the floor, it's just about bringing the leg across. So right now, my knee is about over my other hip bone. It's a good measure. So if I try the other side, lift and pull across, it stops about my navel. So I would have a few more inches, centimeters to go for this side to match this side. And this feels really stuck and starts to get tense and uncomfortable, whereas this side felt really lovely. Like there's an openness, there's a relaxed feeling here that it's not a strain at all. It's really quite nice. Which is a surprise to me, because normally my IT bands are not nice. So, feel free to do the other side on your own, to start back at the beginning of the video and watch it again and check out how that goes. And then really feel the difference as you stand, as you walk, as you move around for the rest of the day, to notice when that starts coming back, that tightness. And then you can choose to roll the ball again if you want, or just notice that space. But until then, have a ball.